Have you ever had a song you're working on go from sounding like this to this?
Beg my mom, take me to the mall.
And to this? Sometimes a song has to go through a bajillion versions before you can finally put it out as a remix for the incredible post-hardcore band Crush++. And in today's lesson, I'll be breaking down that remix and the ridiculous number of versions it went through so that hopefully we can all feel a little less bad about ourselves. Let's get started. Okay, so check it. This song began all the way back in April 2023, and the inspiration behind this one actually came from another member of the Under family, Underscores, and their pack on Splice. Check out these vocal chop loops. Oh my god. Oh! We dragged this into Ableton. Alright, it's great, but it's not annoying enough. I really want to capture the zoomers here, so I'm putting it up an octave. Maybe up even more. Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm adding some fucked guitar underneath that, and I'm using the Real 8 VST. This is my favorite fake guitar. Let's solo this thing out. I'm just playing some basic ass power chords here. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna use some of these permanent effects. I'm gonna switch over to bridge mute, give it a nice little plucky muted sound, but it goes away so quick. So let's keep it going with the arpeggiator. We're gonna put it on chord trigger to kind of give it that repetitive motion. And just to squash it a bit, I'm gonna use Shapeshifter. This is a sick compressor. Next up, this is codec, kind of bit crushing, MP3 degradation type situation. You can see I'm automating the shit out of all these parameters to create that crunch. I'm also automating this midnight EQ on and off to kind of give it this bandpass sound every once in a while. Okay, now this is fantastic, but we need insane drums and ridiculously fat 808s. So let's start with the drums here. I'm actually keeping it quite simple. If we solo this out, I just got a kick, snare, and some trap hats. For the 808, you know, it's real simple stuff, just a nice little wet fart. I got this from one of the Ableton's packs. This is the Hyper Real pack by Coma Kid. Great hyper poop stuff. If we go to instruments bass, there it is. I can switch between these different 808 sounds with this selector thing. And it's got some pretty nifty built-in effects too. This effect send, holy fuck. Anyways, that wasn't nearly crunchy enough for me, so I just put an ozone imager on there to widen it up, disperser to kind of give it some wateriness, and then amp to squash it some more, multiband to destroy it, put up the low end. That's fantastic. Let's hear it in the mix. Okay, put that sidechain back on. Here we go. Okay, we're bumping. Over the next few versions, I filled out the arrangement, refined the instruments, and heck, I even played it out a few times to some whoops. But then started having doubts. I was working with my boy Skro on the Skro Belly project, as well as with this weird old Russian guy on his album. Both projects featured a lot of vocals, and I'm not talking just splice loops or vocal chops. I'm talking actual people singing. And so then I thought, hey, I can do that.
Beg my mom, take me to the mall. Fuck Old Navy, I want Cinnabon. Spikes on my wrist, rings through my lips. Studded belt going round my hips.
Wow. So I put the song back up on the shelf, never to be heard again. Then I got an email from some post-hardcore band in Boston asking me if I wanted to do a remix of one of their songs. I'd be thrilled to ruin one of their songs. I ripped the vocals using AI, put it into Ableton, and made a sort of neuro-hop copycat-inspired type beat over it. I actually tried to play real guitar. Fuck. Where's the damn quantize button on this thing? That didn't work. So then I thought, well, what's a genre of guitar music where you don't need to know how to actually play guitar? Well, shoegaze, of course. So I took my shitty guitar playing, put a fuck ton of distortion and reverb over it to cover up all the mistakes, layered a fake bass guitar underneath it and the free version of Addictive Drums, and voila! So I sent it off to Crush++, and you could say I was crushed plus. They didn't want some post-rock slop, they could have done that. They wanted some hyper poop. So then I thought, well, what's a hyper poop type beat I have lying around that I could just slap over this?
Every time
That sounds terrible. Maybe if we adjust the pitch here? Oh! What if we went the other way? Let's keep the vocal at 0 and pitch the instrumental down 4 and take a listen to that. Oh shit! So then I took that vocal, put it in the original project file of the beat, and manually pitched all the MIDI and audio clips down to make it all sound like this. Fucking finally! And just as a nice little throwback to the thing that started it all, I kept the original vocal chop from way back in the day, you know, just as a little memento. So, did we learn anything? Well, I guess one lesson we could draw is to just take your time. I mean, there's so much slop flooding the internet these days, but don't take too much time, you dingus. I mean, if Crush++ hadn't reached out, this thing would still be burning a hole through my hard drive. Anyways, I don't know anything. Just listen to the remix, you dingus. Thanks for watching. I'm Underbelly. Have a great